Hey, what's up, guys? It's been like 9 days since my last upload. Um, I have some ideas on what I wanted to talk about. I've been playing a lot of Rotato. Um, I do have some thoughts to start out with. Why haven't I uploaded in like 9 days? Well, I streamed a little bit. Um, might have been feeling a little bit down because I've been purposely playing roles that I'm not very good at. So I think it's kind of evening out now though. I've been playing a lot of Rotato and Legion and C. And I've had a few matches today that are worth commenting on. I guess I will start with I have a few ideas. I've been wondering, giving a little thought, especially today, like when is it appropriate to make an overcharged mechs with Legion? We can start out with that one. Because I was thinking about the cost of upgrading a Legion metal extractor to an overcharged one. And I'm thinking about it, I'm not really sure if when it's at a lower value it's really worth it. So this game, especially with this map, I don't like maps with exclusively low value mechs in the first place. I do love geos. I love geos so much. But in the center here, there's a 5. What is this map called? Sunderance? Sunderance. Yep. It's this 5 metal geo. Also, this is a front slash tech position. Today there was like the next one of the replays I want to look at is the front slash air on a different map. It's like Bismuth or something. Yeah, Bismuth Valley. I was being kind of a dick, as I normally am. I made some sort of comment about going air on those maps is silly or tech. Um, how do I? What am I trying to say here? So, from this position, I went Legion, and I'm still learning stuff. Man, if you guys are newer, I just have to tell you right now, it is so important to take all of your mechs as fast as possible. More metal equals more units. So try to get yourself into the habit of like 3 metal extractors, please, or 3 construction bots taking metal. I mean, take a look at the map and see what's appropriate. But I have some thoughts. Also, like I've been tending towards. I used to really like taking landings that are near the sides, but since now I'm kind of back in the mode where I want to be able to carry the team. I was learning other roles that I just think aren't as important. Uh, but I was taking landings off on the sides. But I'm more like, if you want to carry your team, take position. I like to. I'm starting to like taking positions towards the center, where I have more of an opportunity to ensure that all the metal extractors are taken around me. Um, and I guess be willing to share those mechs back to your teammates because they will rage, even though teammates, if they're not taking their metal extractors in a reasonable amount of time, I feel like they have no claim to it. And I don't think the moderation team or whatever, the COC, enforces any sort of meta. So technically, you can just take whatever mechs you want and see how far you can take it. But I'm just saying, just like a reasonable play, just be grabbing all the mechs. And if your teammates aren't getting to them, get to them yourself. It is so important. If you're not taking your mechs, you're sabotaging the team. This is like a very fundamental thing. Okay, next thing. More of like, that's been a huge frustration for me, because I've been playing these new lobbies. And that's another thing I want to say. Like, my OS is kind of low partially because I've been playing these struggle roles, but also your OS tends towards the level of the people that you play with. I think that's just a general flaw of OS and ELO. I mean, don't quote me on it, but I've been playing games like this for a long time. It just kind of seems that way, where your rating isn't reflective of your skill. It's more reflective of the level, or the average of the people that you play against. Slightly weighted up or down based on your own skill, maybe. I feel like I'm rambling. I definitely am. So I like to take positions where I can pick up the slack, I guess. And this time I like playing. I know tech, so if I tech, I know someone else isn't gonna screw it up. And usually I like if I play glitters, I'll take the front position just because there's so much metal. But on these Rotato maps, and just today, I'm just been feeling how I've been feeling. I've been taking these front /tech /air positions, just because there's a lot of value in opening front a little bit in these positions and then teching. So this is going to be pretty basic. This says this map has good wind. I decided not to overcharge any of these mechs because they're really low, because I was kind of thinking about it. I just don't think it's at these low levels, these low numbers, it's efficient to upgrade the mechs versus just energy conversion. But what I'll do here is I'll get 3 construction bots out, take all of my mechs, cap this geo. I stalled my eco. I forgot about these rocks, so some weird stuff happened there. But not what I really wanted to talk about is, and what am I trying to say? I was reviewing the situation. Are the teams about even? Okay, at this point, the red team is 2,000 metal produced ahead of us, it looks like. But no one's made any, like, these 2 mechs were just left untaken, but no one's gone for this. And I'm like, okay, it's my time to shine. I pump out a whole bunch of units to take this 5.0 mechs, and then I immediately overcharge it. And that's 10 metal a second right there. that's freaking huge. I think that I think this is definitely worth it to overcharge the higher number metal spots, and then also cap these geos. And then I wanted to take this other geo, but it just wasn't happening. What's another thing I've been thinking about? One thing I've learned this week is that, or maybe relearned, is just like I've been wanting to be super aggro. I think I've been overcharging my lower number mexes too much, and it sets me behind. But some principles that I've learned in the past week are to stay on T1 longer, to make sure that you control all the metal extractors that you can. But it's okay to transition from units to the bigger turrets like the Overwatch. Try to abuse your commander as much as you can without getting it blown up. Yeah, and I've also been playing free for alls, and I just love the idea of having your opponent pay for your T2 transition. So this was kind of fortunate here, where this guy got his commander blown up, and that's like, this is gonna be 2,000 metal right here, and at this point we're like 3k behind, but then this stuff starts getting donated here. Another thing I've learned is high ground is incredibly good. When I'm playing this, like, it's really hard to, it's often very difficult to see the elevations and stuff from this angle. It just looks like a blob. But yeah, actually, this spot was like so easily defendable. Like, it's insane. So high ground is really good, specifically with bots. I think bots get, or at least some bots get, range increase from firing from elevation. So this is huge. This pays off, and then it pays off really good. And I've been way more willing, or trying to stay on top of my energy conversion way more. And I'm getting back into making armies of combat engineers to upgrade my mechs at the very least. And then in these positions, like in the tech position, if you're just a better, if you're playing these lower level, well, if you can do the bare minimum as tech to get a T2 con out to everybody on your team in a reasonable amount of time, in like everyone, it's usually 10 minutes that it's a good number. But here, it was later. And just by going front this early, like, we control more than half of the map at this point. And I'm looking at the metal income, and we've just kind of got ahead right here. And a lot of it is just because red wasn't offering any resistance here, so it's an extra player on the front. I just love this idea, and I'm going to be playing with it more, and I get to do that because my rating is getting up there, and I have the fancy Chev next to my name, so people are less likely to rage at me. But what am I trying to say? Like, this guy was had a whole bunch of arquebus, and they were not able to do anything. They can't shoot anything up here. They could crawl up the hill, but what's that gonna do but get them in the close range? I love the riot bots. They might have a different name. The javelin is really good. Or the phalanx. Phalanx. I love the phalanx. And the welder is called an assault bot. And whatever the T2 bot is, I just whatever your faction's big beefy all-rounder unit is, I love those. Like, I'm not a big fan of fiends or sprinters or hoplites. They're just really underwhelming. They suck. They're fast, but they kind of suck in a stand-up fight. They're great. They're great if you can lead or completely overwhelm them in numbers, or sneak around and leak in and take out mexes. But the role that I'm usually looking to fill is the strong frontline unit that can break through heavily defended areas. And maybe that's just me just not looking for opportunities that are there and just always wanting to. And I have noticed this problem that I've been attacking heavily fortified positions when I could just go around them. Yeah, I think that's really all my thoughts on this one. This game was a lot of... I ended up scaling in the back and I upgraded these. I'm not sure if the Legion special advanced geo, whatever it's called, the Rampart, is any good, but I was really wanting to build a Cerberus here, but I couldn't because the Cerberus ruined my day in a previous game. It's like, yeah, Red noticed that the arquebuses weren't doing anything to me in the center, so he just went and messed with someone else, and then he started scaling. And this is kind of this isn't good, because he's scaling, but he's behind. And you can get away with that sometimes with some really aggressive scaling, but from where I'm sitting, like, instead of scaling, I decided to make a bunch of phalanx and just push more. And they're already losing ground, so I'm just going to take more ground. In fact, I take out an entire player. At some point, I take out an entire player. Also, this doesn't work. Building arquebus, building these support units, these long range artillery, it only works if you're already winning. And you get. I hate being in the position where I'm in front and feeling like I'm the only person that's legitimately doing anything in the front, and then it's just I'm in a noob lobby, so a bunch of players will just be spamming artillery and stuff, and there's that is the only situation that works when you can just overwhelm with sheer numbers, and even then it's kind of difficult. But yeah, aggressively getting that reclaim also very important. I was mad about this buggy getting that reclaim. It's like I want it. And I'm also a big fan of having my opponents fund my scaling as well. So at some point, and then also don't. He's going for the Aphis first. This is also like a bad play. It's really slow, and I actually do like this. The season 3 changes with the cheaper fusion reactors. It almost feels like you can just exclusively make fusion reactors and it be okay, because they build faster and they pay out they'll start paying faster. But I think there still is a time to transition to Aphis, but it might be a little bit later now. But yeah, I just got like one fusion up, and also like these geos are so much more efficient metal wise for the energy that you get out of them. So like this is good. He got his advanced geo up. Well, he doesn't have his 2 geos in the middle. And I wasn't very ballsy. I did upgrade these ram parts, and I don't even know if the drones that they make are any good, but like at least one, like, hey, it's got anti-nuke. So we probably, like, I look at this and I'm wondering if we could have just won right here, but what I ended up doing is just building a nuke, because it's like this is the low effort way of eliminating your opponent. And I'm like asking my teammate to scout for anti-nukes, and he just doesn't. He's like, I'll get into it. And I just scout. I'll ask, but I'm gonna scout for myself for whatever I need. I did some pretty aggressive scaling here. And then I'm just like wondering, like, what is happening? Like, how come Red is able to do all this and he's not getting any pushback? And it's because there's kind of underwhelming pressure coming from 3 players here. And I scout for the anti-nuke. I saw 2. And I couldn't believe this gap. So I went for this one last, but yeah, this is called, we call it edging, where a funny name. You can get directly in front of the mic and turn down my volume. You can attack, or you can send the nuke just outside the range, and then if their eco is too close, then you still do the damage even though the anti-nuke is there. This one is not quite as much of an example, but yeah, I got this AGO next, and then this is what I'm talking about. There's no coverage right here, so I just hit here, and the splash, or it still gets in the radius, and it'll blow up this Aphis. And I just I couldn't believe I defended this. It was mostly just this guy not microing, but I cloaked my commander, and I learned from Drongo how powerful radar jammers are mixed with cloak. And I'm just looking at this. I'm like, this is silly. Come on, guys. And when I saw this pressure, right, I didn't have any money in the bank. Plus, I was just like done finishing up an Aphis. I didn't have the money in the bank to comfortably go. Like, this would be the time that I would make T3, but there's these sorts of situations where T2 or T1 is good enough. It's just like 8,000 or so metal just to build the factory when I can just rebuild my bot lab and make these tanky phalanx or welders or sumos, and it'll fight off whatever is hitting me, and then I can transition after. But you don't want to be in the position where you have no units at all to defend yourself while you're still building your T3 factory. That's what I was avoiding here. And then hopefully we are staying on top of getting all the reclaim. And these pop-up turrets are so good. I guess I just kind of sent this and forgot about it, so that sucks. Bastions are really good. But I'll end up firing a nuke here at some point. And I only built the nuke. Like, I only build nukes. Don't be like it unless you know that there's a clear target for the nuke or reason to build the nuke. Don't just build a nuke. I knew we were already. It didn't destroy the Aphis, but it did get the conversion, so I don't hate it. I built the nuke because I knew that we won already. I just wanted to close out the game because I value my time. What's the next one? A player join me. Oh. Still in the lobby. Here's another one. Take it with a grain of salt. But there's an air/front position here, and I decided to take it and go front. And their air player, well, he just wasn't good. And I'm not sure if there's a whole lot to say about this, but I have been skipping out on, like, maybe these 2.8 mexes are the ones that are good, and I did overcharge those ones in particular. I actually decided, I almost always open with bots, but I decided to open with vehicles just because the distance is pretty far. So if I look at this, who is this 10 OS? He did something kind of similar. Yeah, he opened with vehicles, and you see that. How does this guy? I don't understand. he grabbed these and walked forward. That's how he's ahead. That it may be good or bad. Don't know. That's another build that you can do is like land, take all your mexes, walk, and then take more mechs. But at some point you have to plop down a factory, and it can be really strong. I've steamrolled this lane in particular by doing that. But you want to start, if you do a comm walk build, you want to start as far forward as you can. You always want to start as far forward as you can, really, as long as it's nearby some mechs. So you could like land here and then walk. Because the most important thing is that your comm gets to the front at some point and locks it down. So I was like, when he landed here, I'm like, why would you do that? Because your comm has to walk. Like, you could have, like, if you wanted to walk your comm, you could have landed here and then walked up this way. Anyway, yeah, I decided that I would go vehicles in this air position. And what ended up happening was I just had no resistance at all on the ground except for this guy covering this guy's lane. And like, especially, why would you want to, if you do go air, even if you're playing on a Rotato map, you should be asking for a con, especially when you have to like go out here and be taking your maxes like this, because air constructors are really expensive on E, and especially build power. Like, it's 7,500 BP for a construction aircraft, and it's like 32 for a construction bot. It's like nearly double. So yeah, also this guy just didn't take his max, or it was really slow. I was able to pressure down here, and I guess I fed some reclaim, and they got it. It just took them a really long time to get up there. And air is just so flimsy and can be completely shut down with a very tiny amount of anti-air. I mean, definitely, like, this guy just wasn't, doing it right. So I guess you can get, these are the small advantages you can get in a noob lobby. I don't know how it would work out in a higher level player lobby. I always find myself in this situation where while I'm transitioning in T2, I just don't have enough E. And it's usually mostly because I'm spamming combat engineers. So when I spam those combat engineers, I'm over time becoming more and more willing to make solar just to bridge the gap for that moment. It's like, yeah, this guy is just an ineffective air player, so you're just kind of like down an entire player. He just keeps trying to like snipe stuff with those saboteur planes. And this is another case of I don't think this map has a tech position, but what I got to do, instead of playing this as a tech, I just... Ooh. He's making advance geo very slowly. This is one of the things that really annoys me is when someone claims a geo but has like no build power on it, so it'll take like 2-3 minutes for it to finish when I'm just about to get there and could finish it in like 10-15 seconds or whatever, a shorter amount of time. But I'm lately been more and more willing to just upgrade my teammates' stuff or finish their buildings or their eco buildings. Just because if they do stupid stuff like that, then I know that they're probably gonna float those resources anyway for at least a little while. It's not a bad thing most of the time. Other than like some players will just like hoard metal or whatever, and that's really detrimental. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I had no resistance as I decided not to air. I got this was contested a lot. I'm like I was up here and I was like asking like, dude, I don't even have a lane and I'm getting 2v1'd. Like, what is going on? But I think mostly what happened here was that I shared T2 to my team, and that just automatically won every single lane. For at least for anyone who didn't decide to make their own T2 way too early. Or something like that. I mean, I couldn't go in this super deep detail because I wasn't paying attention over here, but yeah. I was like, okay, I'll just clean this up. But they're gonna resign shortly, so this was a frustrating match. Red River Estuary. This is a map where everyone should be going C. Maybe have like one person share cons. I don't know. I was actually, well, I have an answer to that now. All of these mechs can be taken with naval sea constructors or whatever, construction boats. And we're just gonna win this map by default because this is like the first team ever who everyone except for one guy didn't make hovers, which is, hovers are so bad, dude. They are so bad. Don't build hovers. There's like 2 units that are any good in hovers, and oh my god, they're so energy expensive. I think they got backed off a little bit, but as far as I know, the units didn't get any real buff. Don't go hovers. Every single one of these lanes is C. You start on the land, look at this. Right here, there's a spot to go C. You don't even have to start there. You could like land here. But naval's really expensive, so I'm on the fence about that. But like, yeah, this position definitely I'd be like landing here. Maybe. Or here. Maybe I would land there. I don't think you can land there. I think it goes out to here. But But you can build here. It's deep enough in this here. Boats just completely demolish land units. And okay, so this guy, he's gonna go bots, and I'm going to be completely free to help these guys. And I love this position here. This is the position I normally play on this map. I've been playing C a lot. I love playing C now. But I decided not to take this specifically because I knew that the likelihood of someone going bots in this position is just too damn high. And I just didn't. I just wanted to make it easier for these other guys to, like, I want to make it so really hard for them to screw up. And he still got messed up. He was over here. Someone was over here complaining about the Legion torpedo boats, and I'm not gonna get too much into that. I just want to show you that boats completely shut down land units. Like, these guys get wrecked over here, right? And then, but this guy, he's not even taking his mechs, so. But on top of that, okay, I'm not getting any pressure from this guy, so that's part of it. I always like to have a few subs in the beginning. And I'm just able to... I'm using my commander to expand this way. I want to make sure... It's really easy to screw up your openings as naval. You want to have, like... I think it's like 3 titles. But there's... It's so easy. It's a bit... It's unfamiliar. It feels different or whatever. It's easy to stall on this, that, or the other thing. This map has a lot of metal to start out with, or this position, so it's kind of harder to do that. I'm still making sure, like, I'm repairing my low boats. I think this thing actually survived. It's like at 1% health. Lucky me. But I do want to make sure that I'm reclaiming all the metal. I'm repairing my boats. And just because it's not happening to me doesn't mean it's not happening. So I'll be keeping a close eye on my comm to just be annoying as possible. And it's not fun to be the subject of this, but if your commander's above water, it can use its D gun. And it can use its D gun on boats, and which is pretty devastating. Here I'll be like, I mostly have destroyers, and destroyers, I always want them engaging at their maximum range. Their strength is range, not DPS compared to frigates. And then also, I don't want the enemy's commander to blow up in the middle of my fleet, so I will do my best to back off. And if I'm really smart, I will learn the hotkey to turn off the firing, or like turn off firing so that I can retreat from the comm and then blow it up, so it doesn't take half my navy with it. See, like 3 of my boats blew up there because he was chasing it down. Because he specifically wants his commander to blow up. And then I want to make sure that I'm getting the reclaim. I'm really not sure why this guy built bots here. Yeah, if your opponent, I still think that you go C here. You can just, if there's no resistance here, you win this entire, everything. You win the entire C. Because if there's more, you're just going to win by numbers at that point. And as I'm trying to say is, what am I trying to say? Jesus. What I'm trying to get across is that land can't fight sea. There's like no competition. Nothing can outrange it. So whoever has this map is whoever has the more sea players is going to win the sea. So I'm looking at this and I just think it's silly, but this is four C players versus 2, and we're just winning on that alone. Sometimes I need to come back here and clean up. It's like, okay, that's cleaned up now. I just go somewhere else at a certain point. So like, look at this. These he can't get in here because these boats, or because these land units just can't fight boats. And we also get all that reclaim. Yeah. So that was easy. Are there any other fun matches? I love a good forge. So this one's forge. I'm not gonna say that I played this one out the absolute best, but this map, I've talked about this before. These metal spots are so important to take early on because they're worth 4. And I guess Legion wasn't on, so I didn't play Legion. Just want to make sure that I'm not stalling. I get 2 or 3 construction bots out, and then I go take these. And if I'm smart, I also make some grunts to defend. But I'm greedy. Like, these grunts are completely out of position. No one's holding me accountable on that right now, or in this match. I don't think I was ever able to secure this max. But, I guess someone leaked here. So there's an early leak. You see how these mechs right here, that's 8 metal, and these got wrecked from a leak, that's another 8. And that difference just there. But we're also like looking around. It's important to take every single max. And for the most part, we haven't missed anything yet. So that alone has decided this game. You're just, if you're behind on metal, you're gonna be behind on everything. And what do I do here? I try to get every single geo, and then this map doesn't really have a designated tech player. Um, this is like a grade spot. Yeah, and then I'm sharing. I'm sharing to my team T2. I think the first thing that I did. These are really. I really should have upgraded this mechs first before sharing. I think. But I'll share the T2 to these players first, and then the guys in the back. Front's getting a little less pressure because I'm not really doing much. So at some point, like, I do make some sumos. If I'm ever feeling some pressure, I will switch to some units. You can see here, we are like 9K ahead in metal produced. That's the number one number that I'm always looking for, or looking at, to see like what is actually going on in this match. And it's just like we've had more metal extractors for longer, or we've had a higher income for longer, and that just means we have more units to do more pressure to just take more and more of the map. I guess I could have really played this better. It's just like that difference. Don't build a fusion before you upgrade your metal extractors. But the final thing is just, again, as a tech player, or as I don't even want to say as a tech player, as the first player to get my T2 up, I have made sure that there's no way we can lose just by sharing these cons to everyone. And it's just like this runaway effect at that point. Do I have anything else to say? Not too sure there's much more that I have to comment on. That has been my Rotato musings for the day.